הפרס למנצחים בעונה 4, חוויית נסיעה מטורפת ברכב מרוץ פרוטוטייפ במסלול ערד.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the Israel Racing League Round 2 at the Nurburgring Grand Prix. So excited to be joining you today. I am Jim Hodson. Joining me on commentary is your man, Dane Baird, and Mark Tranter will, of course, be holding things down in the production booth. Dane, I'm thrilled to be here. I know that you are too. How are you feeling, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Thrilled to be here. Round 2 of Season 4. It's been a good first round of the season. I wasn't too sure what to expect in the F3 cars. They're very different to the Porsche Cup cars that we were so used to for 6 months. But yeah, they adapted well, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do here.
You know it. So our race today will be 17 laps or 35 minutes. Cars are running a fixed setup by Alan Day, who has just, I believe, he just passed the 5,000 iRating mark this week, so well done to him. I guess he knows his setups, doesn't he? So yeah, thanks for that, Day. And drivers will have 2 fast repairs, but they won't need them, of course, because the driving is going to be clean and respectful and wonderful at every possible moment. We do also have a mandatory pit stop today. We'll start with 17 liters of fuel, but with mandatory pit stop, I don't guess it too much matters. And a couple drivers will be starting from the pit lane. That's Ram Itak, Yari Mlakov, and Reem Gross will be starting from the pit. So, looking forward to getting it started, and we should be underway shortly, shouldn't we?
Yep, drivers just in qualifying at the moment. About 40 seconds left of that. And Ruben Chachashvili currently looking very nice on top at the moment, on pole position, with Dorian Tabashnik in second and Alon Day in third. Reigning champion Shavak Katalshvili in fourth. He's got the number 1 on his car, so it's easy to spot him up there. But yeah, pretty evenly spread throughout the field. Quite small gaps between each of the drivers. And currently we're looking at Eric Alster, who is 33rd and last on the timing tower, but there are a good few drivers behind him. I'm counting on the timing screen, potentially 10 drivers below him. So we've got a good 43 car grid here. So it should be really interesting.
Well, big grid, and that certainly means there will be all kinds of racing up and down the field. As we see qualifying come to a close, we should get our official results shortly. Here they come as we see the Porsche pace car bounce into existence at the end of pit lane there. Let's see. There it is. Your qualifying results, and thus your grid. In P1, Ruben Chachashvili, as you were just saying, looking good at the top of the timing tower, followed by Dorian Tabachnik. Alan Day managed to shovel himself up into P3 at the last second there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And he's got Shavak Katalshvili there for company on the second row, followed by Michael Sherling, Amir Meshalim, and Ariel Elkin in P7 with Adam Levitt. Then there's John Chico, Peter Green, Oren Sadeh, and Mahdi Bakar at the end of in P12 there. They are followed by Hage Farhan, Alon Seltzer, Dekel Nar, Yehuda Ben Yosef, Idan Sher, Sar Dekel, Ariel Debush, Ido Isaac, Reeli Tsur, Ori Lahav, Ron Cohen, and Ran Kizelstein. I believe I've got that right. If not, I do apologize. So that's 24 drivers. There are plenty more on the grid, but we've read 24. Anyway, who is after P24? It goes on to Yossi Gabe, Tomer Ventura, Yevgeny Patent. Let's see. Ikam Naur, Leon Portman, Moshi Pinchevsky, Ben Pinto, Elad Weintraub, Eric Ulster, Nurkop M, Tomer Devra. And then we have a couple cars that are waiting to grid up. Gross Etok, of course, are starting from the pit lane, I believe. Ah, there they are. And there's Ulster. Yeah. All the way down to, did I miss anybody? Okay, so Ram Etok is in P37 with Gilad Heskia, and then Michael Wasserman, Zvi Lishitz. Oh boy. Names are flying all over the place, guys. Lights are about to come on, and we are about to start racing. Here they go. 5 lights on, 5 lights out, and we are underway. A great start there by Chachashvili with Tabachnik hot on his heels as they head down to turn 1. 3 wide with a 4th just behind. That is Shalva just behind. Does everybody manage to keep it clean? It looks like they have so far. An excellent start, and the leaders in a tight pack. Fighting there for P1 are Tabachnik and Chachashvili, who Tabachnik has managed to take over the lead, Dane.
Absolutely, all the way around the outside for Tabachnik.
Oh, no!
Chachashvili has lost it under power. There might have been a bit of contact with Alon Day on his outside, but I think he might have just dropped out on the power all by himself. Alon Day now pressuring Tabachnik just ahead of him.
Yeah, I could swear, just like you said, I think there might have been a little taparoo. We might be able to have a look at it here in a second. But right now, this battle is just too exciting here at the front there. That's Tabachnik and Day going side by side. And it looks like Tabachnik had the slightly better geometry, although Day has another little look. You know, I would certainly expect Day to be performing well, given his recent successes and the fact that this is his setup, that all the cars are running, so he should know the car inside and out, and will certainly have made little tweaks that suit him for this Grand Prix as they go too wide through the chicane here. Wow, great race so far. Unbelievable to me, Dane, that they've got a little bit of a gap back to Kvetelshvili and Scherling there at P4.
Yeah, well, there's 3rd till 7th, Kvetelshvili until Levitt. They've been really battling hard. You can see they're still battling hard as they go side by side into the chicane for the lead. Alon Day trying to go all the way around the outside, and he's done it. Oh my goodness!
Oh, no! Oh.
That's Shalva, and wow.
God, it looked like a giant kicked him off the track there. He just got spat out. I think we just saw Levitt lose the rear of his car at the Coca-Cola there and come onto the start-finish straight with very low speed. He's trying to gain his, trying to get the car back under him. Lets the braking go a little bit late into turn 1 and possibly caused a little bit of a problem there.
3 wide, oh my gosh.
And there he goes off track. That's Elkin off track, the number 25 machine, I believe. What? This is...
Oh, and that's Meshalam. He's lost it under power. We've seen that quite a few times already in the opening lap, where drivers just losing control of their car, losing grip in the rear. Oh, is that contact? How was... I think that's Matty Picard managed to avoid contact there with Orensadi ahead. But Alon Day, they're side by side for the lead of the race. Tabachnik down the inside into the hairpin. And it looks like he's made it through, but they're still side by side at the moment. Day off the circuit. And Day's dropping back. Where is Alon Day? There he is.
There he is. So he's lost the car there, or something terrible's happened. He's off the course. Well, he won't be happy about that, but this leaves Tabachnik out in front with a gap of nearly 2 seconds. We're going to have a look at the replay here. There they are, side by side. That looked like that could have been a little tap there.
Oh, yeah. Bit of contact.
Yeah, a little coming together, but thankfully Day was able to keep the car out of the wall, so he won't have, well, hopefully he doesn't have too much damage.
I think he's got a bit of damage to the right side of his front wing. The left side, as we look at it now in the distance of this shot. But Tabachnik now's got a 2.5 second lead. So it's going to be difficult to catch up for Adam Levitt there in the 135 machine. There's Alon Day getting past the bush, but now the bush around the outside trying to fight back a little bit.
Few cars look like they're coming out of the pits. That's Scherling, Meshalam, and Elkin.
I think all of the drivers coming out of the pits getting out of the way quite well there. Coming out of the pits 3 wide with people coming to lap them at that point. So yeah, they did the right thing there and cut out the way.
See some pretty interesting some interesting lines through turn 1 there. Folks taking a whole lot of curb. I'm not sure that's necessarily advised, but better than getting into the car alongside you, I suppose. Well, things seem to be settling down just a little bit, which is good because I nearly had a heart attack on laps 1 and 2. We had cars literally tumbling off the circuit, didn't we?
Absolutely. I'd love to get a replay of what happened to Shalva. Because he had a lot of damage, and I think he has actually pitted for repairs. But yeah, he really got thrown off the circuit and into the wall. at the chicane there, and we're seeing a couple of penalties being issued out. The latest is to Ron Cohen, the driver of the number 22, and he's been given a drive-through penalty. So I think that's what we might have been seeing in the pits, not necessarily people making a pit stop, but actually getting penalties. So the number 12 car and the number 135 car have all also been given drive-through penalties there.
Well, Tabachnik once more turns in the fastest lap of the race. I believe he has bettered his fastest time by 2 seconds, so he's speeding up. And Chico is in P2 at the moment, also turning in a pretty fast lap, but nowhere near what Tabachnik has been able to do so far. Here we go with a replay.
This is what happens to Chalva then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dodgy iRacing contact physics, I think.
Yeah.
The wheels just collided as they were going really slowly through the chicane there, and boink, off he goes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's, you know, with an open wheel car, that kind of thing can happen. But that was an awfully energetic track exit there. So here we are riding along with Sherling. And he's doing everything he can to try to hang on to, if not get past Day's car. Meanwhile, he's got E-Tech all over his gearbox.
Yeah, he definitely does. Some real big gains currently in the drivers there. I'm seeing on my timing screen some drivers really gaining a lot of positions. As you can see there, Devori gained 23.
That is pretty serious. I think, yeah, Devora, yeah, gosh, 23 places. That's Wasserman's gained 23 as well. Unbelievable. And DeBusch has gained 12 places up into P7. Tabachnik once again turning in the fastest lap of the race. They do get a championship point for the fastest lap of the race, unless I'm very much mistaken.
I thought they do. And yeah, well, we can see here that is Oren Sade down the inside of Mehdi Bakar, and Mehdi Bakar now also under threat from Peter Green as well. Actually, no, he's trying to take that position back. He somehow managed to get back down the inside to head into turn 3. And he's made that move stick, but Green trying to go around the outside of Oren Sade, and that's not going to work. But Haggai Farhan is going to say thank you very much, and he is now trying to go around the outside of Oren Sade. He's ahead as they enter the corner, and he's managed to make that one stick. So a good move from Haggai Farhan, and he is up into 4th.
Yeah, so Tabachnik also over 4,000 iRating mark, just got there this week. We got that in our race notes, so congratulations to you, sir. And we're certainly seeing that skill now on the front end of this race. He's widened his lap over Chico. Now, his gap up to 3.7, getting on for 4 seconds, Tabachnik's lap, gap.
Oh, Mehdi Bakar. He's dropping down the order now. Not too sure what's happened to him. I think we're about to get a replay of it.
Let's see, so there's a... That Lotus just lost the car. That was the 277 machine, I believe. I think he just lost the rear of the car. A little bit of an unforced error there. So we're riding here with Farron, who's got Sadeh just behind, who has Green just behind him. Everybody battling for that P3 position as they went through turn 1 and now continuing around the course. Weren't quite able to make it happen in terms of a pass that time, but certainly very close.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing a bit of side-by-side action here. We've got Yaroslav Markov trying to go around the outside of, I think that's side of Isaac. And he's managed to make that one very successfully, but Isaac could get the switchback, as we saw just a couple of laps ago with Oren Sade. And yeah, that was, I think it was Ventura potentially. But yeah, you've seen that a couple of times. It's a good place to get a switchback and regain your position, but unfortunately for either Isaac, he's not managed to make that one stick, and Yaroslav Markov, he can keep his newly earned 18th place.
For the moment, I'm sure. Well, Shelva is...
There's a stopped car.
Yeah.
That's a lapped car, I think, getting out the way.
Yeah, tricky place to go through if you're a little bit slower there on that 90-degree right-hander. So Shelva back on track, and certainly he's not taking it easy, just turned in the fastest lap of the race. So doing everything he can to better his position currently in 23rd place.
And it's promptly beaten by Dorian Tabashnik out in the lead. He's not hanging back at all.
No, down into the 140s. Pretty serious lap time.
And
My estimation?
green sector, all 5 sectors on that lap were new personal bests. None of them were sector session bests. He didn't get purple in any sector of the 5 sectors that they have here at the Nurburgring, but he got a purple lap. So a good consistency from him.
And there he is. I have a feeling that he will shortly have that 22nd position, Will Shalva, as you see him go by in his Nyan Cat, right? That's what that livery is. I couldn't think of it. He might just try to have a little look down here on the inside heading into turn 1. Looked like he might have thought about it, but didn't quite feel like making the lunge on this time by. His front right wheel leaving the tarmac as he navigates that corner.
Yeah, there's a big old ditch on the inside there. The track really drops away on the apex of turn 1, which is why sometimes you'll see drivers take a bit of a wider line through that corner to try and avoid that. You can actually get a bit of a better run if you avoid that bump there. Shalva riding on board with him now. He's got the race organizer, the league organizer, Anna Meshlam, in the 777 just in front of him, and he's certainly no slouch. We've seen him up at the top of the field many times before.
Oh,
but
here he goes.
There he goes down the inside. Not going to work, unfortunately, for him. Oh wait, on the exit. No, he actually got a really poor exit there. He might be under threat from Michael Sherling behind him. Also, a multiple race winner, Michael Sherling. So he's no slouch either. So a couple of drivers here at the back of the field really shouldn't be there. Oh, interesting. Whoa. With a lapped car. And Michael Sherling's taking advantage of that. He swoops around the outside.
Well, you predicted it, didn't you? I mean, we were thinking just a moment ago that was a pretty brave place to attempt a move on the inside there at the Dunlop curve, but yeah, that did eventually turn into an opportunity for Shirley. Well, I believe, Dane, I owe Meshlam an apology. I was just saying a minute ago, I thought for sure that Shalva would be getting around him, and not only has he not, now I got a few cars bumper, I believe. Oh, that was Weintraub who did it.
Yeah, he made his way past Weintraub, and then promptly headed into the pits. So a bit of battling, potentially wasted a bit of his tyres. Meshlam that he didn't have to, but there's no way of knowing the driver in front of you just going to pop down to the pits. Oh, that was an interesting line from the 95 of Ron Itak now. Oh, he's trying to squeeze his way through a gap that I didn't think was there, but it is there now. And he gets past Wasserman into... Oh, there we go. Oh no, on the background. Malkov tried to go around the outside of Wasserman. Wasserman wasn't having any of it, and Malkov, is he in the wall? I think he hit the wall. If he didn't, he's gone very, very slowly in the gravel there. I think he has had a bit of a tap with the wall. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be he dropped down quite a substantial amount there.
Well, he was trying to. He was having a sort of a rather cheeky attempt to get a pass, wasn't he, Malkov? And he ended up getting into the wheels there. Unfortunate for him. I'm sure he'll be annoyed. He was trying to follow Itak through Wasserman there, I think. It wasn't quite able to make it happen. Vachnik's gap now up to 6 seconds. You wonder what this does for Tabachnik's pit strategy, whether he'll try to stay out as long as he can. I guess he probably will. He will have to take that mandatory pit, won't he, Dane? But I think he might try to stay out as long as he possibly can, get that gap up as high as he possibly, can.
Yeah, I would say so. There's no real reason for him to come in. I think the main reason why you would want to hit as late as possible is to avoid getting stuck in traffic, because if I'm looking at the timing screen now, and the drivers that have pitted, their stops have been around about 30 seconds, and 30 seconds puts him right in that sort of end of the top 10 region, and he really wants to avoid getting stuck in traffic at all costs, really, because if he pits, then John Chico's in free air. He's not got anyone close behind him, and that's just asking him to close up that gap. So yeah, I would probably stay out as long as possible there.
Yeah, I'd love to see a track map, but I think that your mathematics are absolutely right. I think he would probably come out, somewhere around Cup maybe or so, or Day. And so we have a little bit of a staring match, a little bit of a showdown here between Tabachnik and Chico. Who can stay out there and feel like they're still getting good pace before they have to serve their mandatory pit stop?
It's funny that you mention him ending up just behind Alon Day. If there's one person on the track right now that you don't want to be pitting and ending up behind, it is Alon Day. He's one of the quickest people on track at the moment. That's one way to hold yourself up a bit. Pit and come out behind Alon Day.
So green into the pits there on P6, I believe. Chachishvili doesn't take that turn quite as tight when he's got all the track, as he does, of course, when he's going 2 or 3 wide into turn 1, something that you don't normally see. But we're seeing it here today because this is an exciting race. So let's see. Will Chachishvili be able to close up that gap to Ferran and make a pass for P3? What's he currently? Well, they're currently lapping at pretty similar pace. However, Chachishvili looks like he's just gone purple in the first sector. So I'd say his chances are pretty good of closing that up. Both lapping at just about 150.
Yeah, it's pretty close there. As I think Adam Levitt's just got past Ido Isaac. Now pays attention a little bit forward and look at Alan Zeltzer, who is about 4 seconds ahead. Oh dear!
Levitt.
Oh, and I think the car in the middle has just been swiped across Adam Levitt's car there. It sent him tumbling, but into the car on the outside. I'm not too sure who that was. I think they were both lap cars. But can we get a shot of the car, 2 cars in front? Because that is the most unfortunate thing I have seen. There, bang. Innocent bystander in all of that mess.
Look at that. Yeah, that was an attempted dive bomb from a long way back on Levitt's part. I'm not sure if the stewards will want to make any sort of a hay out of that, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure the car that Levitt shoveled off the track was at the turn long before Levitt was, so I would think that might turn into some kind of a penalty, but who knows.
As that's near Kopp into the pits, not really surprising. And Trevor Ventura now. That is Amin Meshanam, who's really moving up throughout the order. And this is actually interesting because all of these drivers who got damage at the start of the race, they went and took their fast repair. Because there's no fuel limit throughout the race, the drivers that pitted at the start of the race, assuming they didn't have enough damage that it was really damaged, like slowing down their car. For example, Shalva, he pitted, he was right by the pit box when he pitted, so he wouldn't have lost too much time. And he's already pitted, and he's taken all of his fuel, he used his fast repair. So when we see drivers starting to pit, we'll see that the drivers that were taken out or had damage at the start of the race start to jump up the timing tower.
Well, we thought he might, and Levitt did indeed get a drive-through penalty for that little indiscretion in the corner that sent those other cars rattling off the track.
Oh, Dorian Tabashnik, race leader in the pits.
And so is Chico.
I think the pit window has just ended because everybody is pitting.
Kachishvili, Ferran, yeah, everybody.
Everybody's pitting.
Well, it makes a certain amount of sense, doesn't it? Lap 12 of a 17-lap race. Oh, was that Wasserman off the track there?
Alon Day not pitting. I think he already did a drive-through penalty, so he might be able to save a bit of fuel. Did he actually pit? Oh, I think he actually did pit. He, on my screen, at least a 4-second pit stop.
Wow.
So that would make sense. He went off the circuit, pitted to correct the damage. Actually, yeah, you can see on his car. His car had a bit of damage to the front wing. I don't see that damage anymore. So he has definitely already pitted. And yeah, he's up just 8 seconds behind the leader, but that's quite a lot of time to gain with only 5 laps to go.
Yeah. Day is lapping pretty fast at the moment into the 140s at a 149 for his last lap. Tabachnik still getting up to speed after his pit stop. But I don't think that Day is going to be able to pull 8 seconds out of Tabachnik. This, of course, is, it looks like the battle for 11th place. Elkin all over the gearbox of Day there. Wonder if he'll be able to make a move. Doesn't look like he's closing up too much, and the cars are at a high speed. Go around the Dunlop curve there. Yeah, they too are lapping at pretty similar times. Looking rearward from Sadeh's car, it does look like Elkin is closing the gap a little bit on the straight there with the benefit of the draft.
This is
make a little bit more.
Draft.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? He's definitely gaining quite a lot of time. Dorian Tabashnik not setting a fast lap. Of course, because of his pit stop. Elkin not able to make a move, but these two have got to worry about, is that Deco Nard just behind him? Yes, it is Deco Nard just behind him.
So I'm thinking that Sadeh might be in a little bit of trouble here. There is Nar's car. Yes, indeed, it looks like there is a pass going on there. And Sadeh into the... still has the place, doesn't he? He moved all the way to the right to sort of cover off the inside of the turn into turn 1. It appears to have worked out for him. Elkin still behind, although still all over the gearbox. He will certainly find another spot to give it another try. There he has a little look toward the outside. Sadeh having none of it. I guess Elkin's next chance is probably going to be into Dunlop Curve here in just a second. We'll see if he tries to make it happen. Kind of a tricky place to make a pass, if you ask me, but stranger things have happened. Elkin lets it go for the moment. We'll try again. I'm sure. Well, the squabbling works out fairly well with the cars behind as they're able to close the gap as much as possible. Here we see Ferran.
Oh.
And that is Dvorak making a pass on Michelin.
It's De Bush there on the left-hand side of the screen at the moment in the number 50 machine on the inside now, defending from Dvorak, and they just about managed to get through there without contact, but that has allowed Amir Meshlam to catch up, and Shalva Katelshvili is less than a second behind them, so they've got to watch out because with 4 laps to go at this point, yeah, Shalva's not someone you want to be catching.
No, and an unbelievable drive on Shalva's part to come all the way back up into P9 from his unfortunate first lap. Oh, this car has lost it. Oh, terrible place. I think there was some contact there at turn 1.
Let's see, I think this is Ferran. as he just lost it through the corner. It's that bump that I was talking about earlier. The track drops away. He just about manages to get away with that without any damage. Oh dear, that's not a good place to have a car going off the circuit. Yeah, it might have been Mershalam running a little bit wide onto the grass, but he managed to slow it down in time. What has happened to Dorian Tabashnik and Alon Day? They're side by side. Dorian Tabashnik has lost a load of time in the last few seconds, and now they're side by side at the front.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will help us with having a look at the replay if possible. But yeah, I must have lost the car or had an issue with some, some lap traffic, something like that. Although everybody looks like down to 24th still on the lead lap anyway.
So yeah, they're swapping positions with the timing tower. It's now saying Alon Day is ahead, so I think they might have. Yeah, let's see what has happened to Dorian Tabashnik for Alon Day to have caught up, but then Alon Day switches to the inside as they go through the Schumacher S. That's why they were swapping positions so much, as the inside lane switches, and then once again they're going to go side by side through here. Alon Day is going to probably go for the cutback here. And now he's in the draft up towards the chicane at the end of the circuit. And according to my timing screens, he has got ahead, so let's see.
What a race. Well, here you are. Here's your leader, Day, doing his best to keep Tabachnik off of him. Tabachnik will certainly be doing everything he can to claw his way back into P1 here. I think he's way too far back as we go around Dunlop curve once more. But yeah, I still don't know how he lost all that time. Maybe after the race we'll be able to get a moment with him and he'll let us know. They, of course, leading the championship so far, only one race, but still. So he'll be pleased to be in P1 again, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Dorian Tabashnik, he will not be happy with him being in second again. And I'm just looking at the events list myself, and I don't see Dorian Tabashnik going off circuit either. So that's a really odd one there. Tabashnik just losing a lot of time, potentially having to slow down for someone who's spun in front of him. Although I didn't see much of that traffic. But yeah, he lost a heap of time, a good 6 seconds worth of time, and he's now dropping back from Alon Day. So Alon Day, with just 1.5 laps to go for him, is looking pretty good for the lead of this race at the end. But Tabashnik is now starting to close down that gap, and it is only 0.2 of a second. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, here's the battle between Sherling down the inside there.
Oh, someone spun in the background.
Is that Meshlam?
I think it was a lapped car. I don't think it was Meshlam, but Meshlam is losing a bunch of positions, about 10 seconds back down the road. Oh no, maybe it was Meshlam. Oh, yes, it was. A little bit of contact there, actually.
Yeah, I hadn't realized that he had run into the car there.
I think that was the bush. That was just off shot there.
Well, here we are in the closing moments of this race. Day and Tabachnik no more than half a second apart from one another. Tabachnik, of course, Tabachnik has led most of the race, with Day having to work his way up through the timing tower. Java working his way up through the timing tower as well, now in P8. There's Nar still battling for P11 with said Day. Day now almost a second over Tabachnik, so I don't think Tabachnik, maybe he will not be able to close this up. A little bit of an off there. as we take the white flag, and we are on the final lap of this race. Cars still lapping down in the 140s, and it's no longer particularly remarkable because everybody's in the 140s. As we see Sherling turn in a 149.6. Day is still increasing his lead. It's now 1.1 seconds over Tabachnik. This is Kieselstein. He's got Scherer behind him. Well, Day's lead now almost up to 2 seconds, and it's going to end up being 2 seconds here. Day very close to finishing his final lap. Here he is at that final chicane. He just has Coca-Cola to go, and this race will be his if he can hold on to it. Good chance that he'll be able to do so. It seems like Tabachnik is falling back even farther. Well, there he is, your winner, Day. Across the start-finish line to take the checkered flag with Tabachnik hot on his heels, but not quite hot enough. Chachishvili in P3. And I think we don't have a driver of the day vote, I don't think, but Shalva's jump from the rear of the timing tower all the way up to P8 has got to be pretty close to the top choice, I would think, for drive of the day. Where he stops on track. Probably to take a moment to think about all the cars that he passed.
Yeah, he did a great job to get himself back up into the top 10 there. And yeah, he was really far down the field after that lap 1 incident. So a great drive from him to be able to get back up into just less than 5 seconds. Sorry, from the leader at the end of the race there. So just waiting for the last of the drivers to finish. And it was a mostly clean race, quite surprisingly considering the number of cars on the circuit.
Yeah, everybody did a great job out there. I mean, we did have a couple of incidents for sure, and we certainly had cars, tumbling around, landing on top of one another. Definitely eventful and exciting from that perspective, but certainly could have been a lot worse. It seemed like there was a significant amount of unforced errors in turn 1 there. Of course, it has that drastic elevation change, as you mentioned. Might have been a donut going on there. Oh, dear.
Huh.
Wasserman's car.
Well, that's an interesting way to cross the line.
We got a good look at his... what has happened to the... Well, the front's fallen off, hasn't it?
Is he lost it into the hairpin?
Yeah, he did.
He lost it there. That's not a reason to get damage to the front of your car, spinning it all the way around and then getting sideswiped by the number 88. That's a good way to lose the car. And bits of carbon fiber litter the track. The number 88 looks like it doesn't have too much damage, so should have been able to finish. I think the number 88 is Gilad Weinraub, and I think he did finish in front of him, so yeah.
Well, Wasserman will be able to very easily top up his brake and clutch fluid after the race, since the front of his car has come off. Congratulations to Alan Day, your championship leader. Sort of firms up his lead, doesn't he, by winning again today. Tabachnik betters his result from last week in P2 rather than P3. Ruben Chachishvili in P3 for today. That is your podium, followed, of course, by John Chico, Tomer Devra, Michael Sherling, Ariel DeBush, and Shalva in P8. Great drive for him. Ariel Elkin in P9, and Amir Meshlam comes home in P10. A great race out there, everybody. It looks like we have a couple of drivers waiting to be interviewed. What if we have a chat with our race winner? Dane, what do you think?
And that would be a good place to start. Let's get him in for you to have a chat with him.
There he is, Alan Day. Congratulations on your win, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
So, a sort of a big turn of fortune for you today. How are you feeling?
I hate to win like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, pretty clear. It was a good fight. It was a really good first 2 laps. Like I knew that Dorian will be extremely quick, and it could have been a 17 laps race fighting like a dogfight. Unfortunately, I think he locked the wheel or something, and he just slid into me and sent me to the wall. But it was very friendship. So after I recovered from that, he actually waited for me and to have a good battle again.
Oh, is that how he lost the time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We raced.
Yeah, we were wondering.
for such a long time, so I would do the same to him. So
We were wondering about that. He had a pretty good gap, 6, 7, 8 seconds, something like that. So you're saying he just slowed it up so you guys could battle for the end of the race.
yeah, I think that's like an unwritten rule in sim racing. If you take out someone, you need to give him the place back. I think it was very friendship, sportsmanship action by him.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, certainly you're going to be a, he's got to know that you're definitely a danger. I mean, you're leading the championship so far. You made the setup, so to slow up and give you that chance, he's got to be at least reasonably confident that you'll be able to capitalize on that.
I can tell you that he's quicker than me in my own setup.
Yeah,
100%.
he had a great drive. He had a great drive today, but I think you're selling yourself short. You had a great drive too.
Yeah, I was. I had a damage after this contact with him, so I had to go to the pit lane and basically I just undercut. I changed the whole strategy and moved it up like backward. But it was good. It turns to be a good decision to go into the pit very very early. I should have done that immediately after the crash. I don't know why I waited for an extra 1 lap. But overall, it was a really good race. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'll say it was a good race. It was certainly exciting from our perspective. Thanks so much. Congratulations on your win. Congratulations on your continued performance in the championship. And we look forward to seeing more of you this season.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys, and I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you so much. That is your race winner, Alan Day. Do we have time for, excuse me for not knowing, but do we have time for more interviews?
We absolutely do.
Fantastic.
And let's see who we can get in for a chat. Only 3 drivers in the interview waiting area. So I guess the next person that we should get in, I think, is going to be Dorian, who of course finished in second. So let's get Dorian in then for a chat, and he joins us now. Dorian, welcome to the interview, and can you hear us?
Evening, fellas. Yes, I can hear you fine. How are you?
We're doing fine, absolutely. But talk us through the race. You had a good battle with Alon throughout the first couple of laps, and then a bit of contact.
Yeah, I made a bit of an oopsie. I went a little wide when we went side by side there, and Alon was the one who lost from that. I felt kind of guilty, so I told him in comms that if he can catch up, I'll give him the position back. And after the pits, I asked him if he had a full tank of gas. He said yes. So I waited for him so we can fight from that point on. Unfortunately, I didn't have the tire to keep fighting him, and he just had the pace towards the end. So I had to settle for second there.
Yeah, and it was to be fair, that was a very kind thing for you to do. I know a lot of people wouldn't have have done that. They would have taken their win. And yeah, it was a good thing for you to do. But your start was pretty good as well. Obviously, starting in second behind Reuven, but you managed to get past him fairly quickly.
Yeah, we created a monster with Reuven. He was having trouble with his braking and a few other things with his settings and racing lines and just getting used to the car. I remember me and Alone like a couple of weeks ago, we sat down with him. We helped him sort everything out, dial everything in, and he became a monster. He started to get pole positions left and right. He's starting to fly around. So we kind of ate our own hat here. But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. I'm happy that he came back to podium. I think he finished podium, right? Third?
Yeah, he finished third.
Well done by him. I mean, he had that spin on the first lap and he recovered really well. He has really good race pace, so we're definitely gonna have an additional contender for the podium this season besides Shalva.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of them now, of course. You've got Michael Sherling doing well. John Chico's also had a couple good performances. Yourself and Alon and Ruven Shalva, of course. Hagai as well. He's definitely always one to watch out for. So yeah,
Hundred
there's a
percent.
lot of
Hagai had the race, the like race of the night. I think. How many positions did he gain?
quite a few. I think
Yeah.
he's down 6 overall, but he might have been involved in a couple of incidents near the end. But he did have a pretty good drive up until that point. Uh, twisting his way through that pack near the start of the race and then picking them off one by one. But I think he spun near the end of the race and he
Oh,
lost a couple of positions. It was
oh,
turn one that he spun at, which is an easy thing to do.
very very easy to do, especially when the rear tires get overheated after 10, 15 laps. It's really difficult to keep the car in check.
Absolutely. And Dorian, am I correct in saying that you're doing sort of lap guide videos and helping everyone adjust from the Porsche Cup car?
Yeah, I mean, I'm chipping in. Definitely trying to help out the guys on my YouTube channel, and also we got Hagai doing Hagai takes the replay and he analyzes it further, gives his take on it, and everybody helps each other out. This is a I mean, we're a very small scene here in Israel. There's not a ton of sim racers out here, so we're trying to cultivate everybody and bring them up. And I can say for a fact that before this league, the level was much much lower, and I'm very happy to see so many people getting faster and faster and representing.
Absolutely. It's been great to see as well for me because I've been commentating on the league for what best part of 9 months to a year at this point, and yeah, I've seen everyone develop, and it's been great to see. It's also great to see behind the scenes all of the coaching and stuff that goes on. It's really awesome stuff. Well, Dorian, thanks so much for joining us in an interview. Congrats on the second place. Thanks for giving us a good battle. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
No, thank you guys for a great broadcast as always. Thanks Amir for organizing everything. Thanks my sponsor SimRace and 3.x, and that's it. See you guys.
Well, yeah, see you in 2 weeks then.
Definitely. Bye bye.
Well, it was great to hear from Dorian there, and Jim. We've got quite a bit of time left, but we've only got one other driver waiting for an interview.
Well, I guess he's earned his spot then, hasn't he? You're speaking, of course, of John Chico. Let's get him on in here and have a word with him. There he is. John Chico, your P4 finisher today. Can you hear us, John?
Yes, guys. Loud and clear. How are you?
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on your P4 finish. You gained something like 5 places over the course of the race. Of course, you at one point you were running P2 or P3, if I'm not mistaken. So, well, I don't want to tell you how it went. You tell me how your race went.
Well, the optimist in me would like to say it went great considering the field I had in front of me of great drivers, crazy fast. I had a lot of luck in the beginning, but the pessimist in me will say I'm annoyed that it didn't finish at least third. I made a tactical mistake in the pits. I overfueled by about a second or so, which really brought Reuven up to my rear end. And unlike usual, I actually caved on from the pressure from him. I knew he was very fast today on this track, so I guess it did its thing. But let's keep with the optimist and say I really enjoyed it. Up until that mistake, I think I didn't make any mistakes at all. which has proven to be the way to go for me, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's the way to go for everybody, isn't it? But yeah, well, I think you're absolutely right that you could put a positive spin on your. I mean, look, you're in P4. You gained 5 places over the course of the race. I think that's certainly nothing to sneeze at. If it were me, I'd be jumping up and down.
If I jump up and down, I'm going to hit something. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, but definitely, it was a good race. It was a clean race. It actually was a little bit boring, might I say, until Rufin was on my tail. Uh, I had a clean track, saved a little bit of fuel, but yeah, not very eventful. So I was really hoping for P3, but I'll take P4 as it comes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that would probably be in a similar spot. I can certainly understand how you would be a little bit annoyed to have, make a little bit of a mistake in terms of pit strategy, but there's just so much to consider, and to get that perfectly right and have pace on track. Yeah, it's a lot. But anyway, as I say, congratulations on a great drive and a great results, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Thank you guys for your time and your support. And great job, Alon. Great job, Dorian. Great job, Ruben, for everything for the qualifying and P3. And great job for the league. We had a crazy big grid today. It's insane to see how many people have joined over the past couple of months. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and have a good one.
Yeah, definitely exciting. Great racing, great community, lots of fun. That is your P4 finisher, John Chico. Thank you so much. And I think, Dane, if I'm not mistaken, we have time for one more interview.
Yeah, we've got a last minute addition to the interview waiting area, and that is Ruben Chechesvili. So let's see if we can get him in for a quick word then. Ruben, can you hear us?
Hey, good evening. I hear you. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing good, and you must be not too displeased with that third place finish then.
Actually, I'm pretty happy with my finish. Being behind Alondai and Dorian, which are great drivers. One of them also in the reality is I'm pretty. I feel very very proud to be in this place. I had an unfortunate case at the beginning of the race. I believe it was kind of a netcode, as in Alon's side we don't see any contact, but on my side we see. Though I'm pretty happy with the result. I had a pretty tough race throughout the race to trying to get back to my place. Pretty exciting in my side, yes.
Absolutely, you had a pretty hefty task to try and get your way back up through the field. And yeah, you managed to come back up to third. What position did you drop down to at the start?
As far as I remember, it was something around the 26th, I think.
Wow.
But it's the first lap with this card and cold tires. It's pretty hard to keep the car with pace or even on the track. So there were some spins. I think that I gained about 6 or 7 positions as a gift. So the rest of them was a little bit of fights, great fights with Ariel Dabush, with John Chico on the third place. And the rest of the race was just trying, psychologically keep myself concentrated and just push as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking to Dorian. He said that him and Alon have been helping you out getting used to the F3 car, and that they created a monster with you, and it showed in qualifying a pole position by I think it was around about 0.2 of a second at the top.
I really appreciate the help of Alon and Dorian. It was in the late nights that we sat together and they helped me to understand better the car or the track. And they help everybody, not just me. Dorian with his great guides on this YouTube channel, which I follow and I like pretty much. And Alon with his experience and his, I think he's kind of a gifted guy that immediately understood the car and just, helps everybody that asks. So I'm pretty thankful to both of these guys. First, must thank to Hagai also, which have the practice sessions, or the learning sessions. a week before the race. All of this helped me a lot. I'm trying, just to grasp everything that I hear, and I'm thankful that I did manage to implement it in this race.
Absolutely. Well, in 2 weeks' time, we head from the Nurburgring to Barcelona. Do you have much experience with that circuit?
I'm familiar with this track. I don't like this track in terms of overtakes. It's a bit tricky race, a bit tricky track to overtake. It's pretty fast one. I'm pretty excited to arrive to this track. I think that in terms of the structure of this track is pretty much similar to the Nurburgring. I mean, it has a wide road, technical turns. So I think it will be very interesting.
Absolutely. I can't wait. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see you back up in the podium positions in 2 weeks' time at Barcelona. But for now, Riven, thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on the third position.
Thank you very much.
Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
Just thanks to everybody who participated in this league, to Amir Mishulam, of course. And that's it. I'm excited for the next 2 weeks. And thank you
Well,
guys for the commentary box.
Oh, thank you very much. Riven Chashashvili then, our third position driver. See you in 2 weeks.
See you. Thank you very much.
Well, Dane, I gotta say, this really seems like a great community, just helping one another out, slowing up to make sure that there is a battle near the end, sort of giving themselves, the best possible racing, which means the best possible racing and the best show for us as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. What a race, what a series. Cannot wait for Barcelona. And that will happen in 2 weeks. But for today, I am Jim Hodgson. And saying goodbye for Dane Baird, Mark Tranter. Thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to see you again.